Frankie, it's match day. Are you looking forward to the game?
Yeah, I always am when we've had a little bit of no West Ham. I miss it. So I am looking forward to it. And quite a good little test for us, this one, I think. I think we'll get to see where we are if at the end of 90 minutes. So, yeah, looking forward to see how it unfolds.
Are you feeling confident?
I think you have to, don't you? If you don't feel confident for this one, then you've got major problems. So
Yeah, I agree. I listened to Graham Potter's press conference, and when he was speaking, I was listening, and when the journalist was asking the questions, I was like, "What you say, mate? Can't quite hear you. Can someone at the club please get a bloody microphone with the people asking the questions?" So I've got to guess what the question is. When Potter was speaking about this fixture. Oh, it was just this same old. Oh, it's a difficult fixture away independent. Well, what game isn't right? What if going away to the 17th place in the league without their main man in Cunha is a difficult fixture, then by default they're all a difficult fixture. Perhaps maybe Leicester, but I feel a bit sorry for him because you can't sit there and go, "Oh yeah, this is a fixture we should be winning." But I kind of almost want him to say that. I was kind of thinking, just say they're a good team. It could be a tough place to go, but we've got to be picking up points in these kind of games if we want to get to where we're aiming for. I was just wanting a bit more, and I was like, "Oh, come on!" But perhaps more interestingly, he was asked about Füllkrug. He said Füllkrug's back, confirmed Füllkrug will be in the squad, so that's, well, for me, exciting. And he got asked about Ferguson. He didn't really like being asked about Ferguson because I think guesswork. I think the journalist basically said and then about him, and Potter said, well, he's available, we got him, he wasn't quite ready, he was just starting his rehabilitation, he's going away to Ireland, got a goal, which is good for strikers. Then the journalist asked something else. He could only have said, well, why haven't you played him yet? Because he said, I disagree with what you were saying. And then he went on. But I do feel like, do you think he'll play a striker tonight? And if so, which one do you think he'll play? We're going to do a little bit of prediction here for a bit of fun.
No, I don't think he will. And I think the way that he spoke there, I've really got a problem with his attitude. I've always had it from the beginning. Like, he's got real... And I sent you that video of obviously when he done the Chelsea thing. And I was like, have you seen that, Geo? And I thought, when someone just gets caught out, but I don't need to catch you out. There's already this ill feeling I've got of you being a right niggly, having that slight... I don't know the word for it, Geo, but it's almost being like a petulant child. He's got that real immaturity about him where he just, rather than taking control of a situation and actually turning around and say, hang on a minute, I actually think that Evan Ferguson, I've been around him before, and I think he's a fantastic player. I've actually seen what he's capable of, and that's why I've brought him here, to see if we can get some of what I knew about him out that can help us until the end of the season. If he takes control like that, you go, do you know what? He's a man of authority. He's a man who's speaking well, and actually he's shut that situation down and stood by his decision to bring Evan Ferguson. You go, fantastic. But he does it like in such a childish nature. He just goes on the turn. He gets the needle. He starts to really sort of get agitated by it. And I just think, mate, you're a grown man. Like, grow up a little bit. And yeah, I don't like it, Gio, if I'm honest. I don't like it. But from what he said, I just don't see Ferguson potentially being in his faults to start. So yeah, I can see us not having a striker tomorrow.
I hope he does, because if he doesn't, then I think we know what we'll see. He'll be Bowen as striker, and I've got fed up with it a long time ago. But every game since, I've got more and more fed up with it. And I can, come on, please, can we have a striker? I think some games recently we've been looking like we're lacking a striker, and B, I think it really is impacting Bowen's influence in the game. Even the games he's popped up with a goal or an assist, I don't think he's necessarily had a great game. Arsenal away, I thought Kudus was the better of the two, but Bowen got the goal. Against Leicester, it was officially an own goal, but Bowen done the work. However, I thought he was okay in that game. I feel like I'm waiting for a kind of man and match performance from Bowen under Graham Potter. And I want to see that against Wolves tonight. I think there's an opportunity here to go there, get a win, get a bit of the feel-good factor back into the fan base, give us a bit of hope going into the game against Bournemouth, who good team, good season, but they're not in the greatest of form themselves, Bournemouth. And then at the London Stadium, because one thing Potter does speak about is building a relationship with the home fans and trying to give the home fans a team that they want to watch. And appreciate tonight we're away from home, but what you can do is give the home fans something to look forward to in the next game by playing the way you do against going to Wolves, playing good football, winning, and then people go, "Oh, can't wait to get over there on Saturday against Bournemouth because of the way we played against Wolves." So do you think he's going to stick with his back three then, since you don't think you're going to have...
Do you know what worries me with it, Geo? Let's think back, beginning of the season. What was the first game me and you watched with West Ham, and we watched that Wolves one in pre-season, and we sort of tried. I know it's a different manager, and I get that, but we tried to play that sort of way, and actually they dealt with it really comfortably, and it sort of played into sort of their strengths and into their hands a little bit. So I hope we don't, because I know it's a friendly. I get it was a very different time, and lots happened since then, and at that time actually Wolves were looking like they were threatening to go and have an half-decent season. And actually they started off okay, but it all went, very, very wrong for them. But yeah, again, I just want to see something, like you said, you're looking forward to that Bournemouth game. We've finally got a 3:00 kickoff on a Saturday, which we're just deprived of them. So everyone's fancying getting out anyway. The amount of messages I've had, come on, let's get out early. Let's make the most of it. Let's make a proper day of it. Hopefully with the weather hangs out and we've got nice weather still. And you just, if you sit there tomorrow night and you watch, or sorry, tonight, if you sit there and watch that and you think, oh, there's a bit of excitement there. There's a bit of attacking play. There's a bit of forward play. You can really start to build and look forward to Saturday then. If we go out there and we do have that three at the back and we're defensive and, we don't have... I mean, we're all right for possession this season. That's never been a problem. We're all right for actually creating opportunities. I know we sort of struggle with the creativity element of it, but we do seem to get some shots on goal. It's not like it was last season where we was really struggling. So, more possession, more of that. But I just want to see a little bit more. And if we can go there, like you say, and put in a real solid performance and get in their faces and unsettle them. And like you say, they ain't got their main man. So, let's be a bit ambitious. Let's try and take it to them a little bit. And then we'll all be so excited for the weekend, and there's not many games left now at home, so yeah, I just hope we can go and just show us a little bit something more ambitious, just something a little bit different.
I've got a quiz question for you at the end of this podcast, by the way. I've the Mrs. Gio's Granda does a quiz every Tuesday, and I just seen him today, and he says, "Oh," and he likes to put the football questions to me. I think he's trying to catch me out. He caught me out tonight, and I was not happy about it whatsoever.
If he caught you out, I've got no chance.
There was two questions I got wrong. One of them was, Newcastle won the Carabao Cup. The last time they won it was 1955 or whatever it was. Says, who did they beat? I'm not going to know that. Turns out it was Man City, but I've got a much more modern football question. I've got it wrong, and I'm really annoyed because I feel like I should have got it right. However, I'll give you my answer, and I feel like it was a good answer to get wrong, and that makes sense. But I think he might go to 4 at the back tonight to get that striker in. There's two reasons for it. One, if you go 3 at the back, you're essentially going to be matching up with Wolves because we know how they'll play, and that is that 3-4-2-1 formation. Pereira has never changed. O'Neill had it in place. Pereira came in, basically got asked very start, are you going to be changing formation? He said, no. I'm just going to tweak what's already here. And it's worked because Pereira's points total, if the league table started when Pereira was appointed as Wolves manager, Wolves would be sitting in mid-table. So he's picking up points. We go 3 at the back and we go 3-5-2 or whatever, we will be matching up with Wolves man for man. And I wouldn't be against that because I think we've got better players. And I think if we were to match up with Wolves and lose and struggle, we've got problems because they are, at the end of the day, we're 16th and 17th in the league going into this one. We're not having good seasons. So I do wonder, because I was thinking, listening to Potter, and I thought he was hinting that Ferguson's going to start and Füllkrug will be on the bench, which I'm happy with that. I'd prefer the other way around because Füllkrug's our player, not Ferguson. So I'd rather we focused on Füllkrug as much as possible between now and the end of the season. But I think he'll start Ferguson. So I thought, well, how's he going to do it? How's he going to get Ferguson, Bowen, Paqueta, and Kudus into the team and 3 at the back? And unless you put Paqueta central midfield with someone, you can't really do it. So I think he might go to 4 at the back and take out Mavropanos and go Wan-Bissaka, Tadibo, Kilman, possibly Emerson at left back. I think he might go with Souček and Ward-Prowse in the middle, and leave Alvarez on the bench. And then you'll have Bowen, Paqueta, Kudus, and Ferguson as striker. And I'd be okay with that. It wouldn't be my preferred 11, but I'd be pretty... I say excited. I'd be looking forward to what we could produce in this one because I feel quite confident we'll get a solid performance tonight. I don't think we're going to get, if we lose, I don't think it'll be by more than 1 goal. I think there'll be 1 goal in it either way. I think we'll be solid. We'll be efficient. I just want to see a bit of fun, and I'm not confident that part of the match will be there. I think we'll know what we're doing. The players will be well drilled. It's just, please, Mr. Potter, can we have a bit of excitement tonight? So we can look forward to it.
Do you think that what you've just described there, do you think that gives you that excitement? I don't think it does.
I think if the team came out like that was the 11, or Alvarez instead of Souček or Ward-Prowse or Füllkrug instead of Ferguson, I'd be happy with it. And I think it would make me look forward to a bit more because it keeps talking the talk, Potter. It keeps talking about being more entertaining and whatnot. So I keep thinking, well, let's see it then. Let's see it. And I appreciate it's not his squad, but don't know. I'm always of the belief a good head coach can work with any group of players to some extent. And we don't have a bad set of players here. They've underperformed this season, yes, but they're not. They're all Premier League quality. There's not one player in that 11 I've named that's not good enough for the Premier League. I don't believe so anyway. Even the players that we might not like and we'd like to see sold in the summer, take your pick, Ward-Prowse, Souček, Emerson, whatever, they're still good enough for the Premier League. I think.
I agree. I think
so. Yeah, we'll wait and see. And before I do my pub quiz question for you, can I get a score prediction and any final words you want to say about the match itself?
Yeah, I think screams of a 1-0 West Ham win. I think that is just on the cards.
Yeah, I agree.
A horrible Tuesday night. Go up there. I think, like you say, I don't see us being that ambitious. I think Ferguson, playing it out. Do you think Ferguson's up there? He struggles. I think we shift it around in the second half. I think we nick a goal. Kudus has got to pop up and get a goal sooner or later. He's properly due. But knowing us, it will be a Thomas Souček corner, whatever, and he'll steam his way through and get the goal, and that's what we do. So yeah, screams of a 1-0 for me.
I agree.
Yeah, it's what it is.
I'm completely agreeing with the 1-0, and I think it's one of them. Do you know? Have you watched Severance at all? I assume you haven't watched Severance on Apple TV.
No.
It's just, I've watched it, Gonz has watched it, whatever. It's like a big thing on Apple TV. Long story short, they split your memory in two, right? So you go to work and you have like a work memory, but you don't know anything about your personal life. Then when you leave work, you know nothing about your work life. That makes sense. And I feel a bit like that with West Ham sometimes under Potter, which is like, we win tonight 1-0, but it's not very entertaining. Half my brain's like, get in, we won. But the other half's like, we're still missing the fun factor. So I'm torn is what I'm trying to say. So I think we're going to get one of those performances where we turn up, we're solid, we get the 3 points. But I was nodding off in the 55th minute.
What's mad is, though, with the forward players we've got, it shouldn't be this way.
No.
And that's the most frustrating factor of it. We know Bowen can be exciting. We know he can get at players. We know he can drive at players. We know what Kudus has got and what he's all about. You mix Paqueta into that mix and his creativity. You mix Emerson in on the left-hand side. It all suggests that there should be more to us.
My boy Füllkrug up front, stringing it all together.
Needs a couple of hat tricks to save you, mate.
8 goals in 9 games from him. It's just it's not happening.
To be fair, and I will be fair on this, we knew he'd had a few niggles in the past. I said that bet based on the fact he would play far more than he has done. And I almost want to avoid it, Geo, because of his injury. However, yeah, I'm going to bet.
I bet it's a bet, and if Florless or one of the other viewers or Nick from Clout and Booze or one of them could pay me the bet that I won over them, that would be helpful, so I could fund this bet. But I will be paying out unless Füllkrug smashes in 8 goals in the next 9 games. Then I'll be buzzing. Right, pub quiz question. Which player has scored for the most different? I don't know how to word this. Which player has scored for the most different Premier League clubs? If that makes sense.
It does make perfect sense.
I'll give you a clue. Only one player has scored for 7 different Premier League teams. There's quite a few with 6, and my answer was one of those that had 6. But there's only one player that scored for 7 different Premier League teams. I'll give you a bit of thinking time. And while Frankie's thinking, if you've enjoyed this video, please do drop a like on it by clicking the thumbs up. It helps out the video and helps out the channel. Also, subscribe to Hammers Chat. And if you're going to the game tonight, enjoy it. But if not, we will be live an hour and 5 minutes before kickoff on this channel with our build-up show, taking a look at the team that Graham Potter's named, see what Pereira's doing with his Wolves team. Although I feel more confident I can name the Wolves team than the West Ham team, which is a bit strange, but there we are. Anyway, Frankie, back to you. Have you got an answer for me? Have you got
I don't even really know where to begin. I'm thinking of all the journeymen, but the one I'm going to throw out there, because I'd be gutted if it was this person, it wasn't, but you would have had to have got it because he asked you, is Danny Ings. So I'll go with Danny Ings.
It's not Danny Ings, no. My answer was Darren Bent. And Darren Bent, and this is where I got tripped up, he scored for 6 different Premier League clubs, but he played for 8. So Darren Bent has mugged me off a bit. And my second guess, which was also incorrect, was Peter Crouch. And I knew I was incorrect with Peter Crouch because I can name all 6 teams he scored for. The winner, and the worst thing is he's actually played for West Ham. And it's not Robbie Keane. He's also in 6. The winner is Craig Bellamy.
I was going to say Craig Bellamy when you said he played for West Ham, yeah.
Because I will hold my hands up to say this. I did not know he played for Coventry City.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. I couldn't think of who he played for before Newcastle. So obviously I had like Newcastle, West Ham, Liverpool, I had Cardiff, I had Man City. I had all those. I just didn't know about Coventry City.
You could have given me all day, and it's not the one I would have guessed. You could have thought of 100 journeymen, and you would have, started reeling off names, but he would never have been one that I said.
You would have got him eventually. He kindly gave me a clue and said he's currently an international manager, and I thought, well, hang on a minute. And I thought for him to know he's an international manager is one of the home nations, because I doubt he knows who the manager of France or Spain is. So, and that's when he gave it away a little bit. His clue.
What you can tell there, Geo, is with my answer, right? I have quite a lot of brain and thinking that I have to do throughout my day. And when someone gives me like a question like that, I couldn't give 2 flying whatevers. And I don't even start to think, because I just go, I've just got no interest in using my brain.
For what it's worth, I had to looked up the list when I got home, because I wanted to know where Darren Bent and Peter Crouch featured. And Ings was on the list, so I think he scored for 5 different.
5, I would have gone 5.
5 different clubs. Yeah. So there's obviously us, Villa, Southampton, Liverpool, Burnley. But did you score? Oh, Burnley in the Premier League though. They might have been in I think they were in the Premier League. Anyway, there you go. Danny Ings, I think, has got 5. Right. If you got Craig Bellamy at home, congratulations. Give yourself a pat on the back. And if you didn't get Craig Bellamy, don't worry. You can come and sit on the ashamed step alongside myself, Frankie. Thank you very much for joining us, Frankie. Thank you as always.
No worries.
And we'll catch you in a minute. Ta-da!